longest hiatus I think is of any crypto YouTuber. Thank you for the 3 people who've been waiting for me to start. So in today's live stream, I have a few things I want to talk about. But first off, I want to thank the community over on everybody that's on Twitter who's helped me put out that I was starting the live stream again, and that everybody that's actually been following me on Twitter and following all the stuff that I've been sharing. Hopefully, you guys have been pretty successful, hopefully as successful as the calls that I've been making over on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, you're watching this after the live stream or whatever, you should absolutely be following me at Jade Martian. It's in the description below, I believe. XRP to the moon, baby. Absolutely. Hey, that's you. Wait, is that me? You? Me? I don't know. Your name confuses me. But absolutely. XRP to the moon, baby. So, as the little picture there says, and the kind of gives away, right, to anybody that's curious, obviously, I think that we're not near the top at all at this market. This market's just getting started, all right? So, just gonna dive straight into it. First, I want the topic we're gonna cover first and foremost, because this is really important to anybody that's new to crypto. And I really want to be general. I know a lot of y'all are veterans in the community, especially the people that are tuning into me right now. But for anybody new that comes in, hoorah! Absolutely, Steve. But to anybody new to the community or new to crypto, I want to make clear the larger effect of what's going on with why this space is maturing, so that as an investor, or especially as a trader, which is what a lot of newbies coming in are going to try and do, which I do not recommend. If you're new to crypto, get this right out. I do not recommend anybody new to crypto try and trade. The best thing that anybody new to the space can do, and a lot of people will preach this to you, is buy the dips. Don't FOMO in when something's running up. Look at what you want to invest in and wait for it to have a nice 20% correction at least before you buy in. Because that 20% correction in a bull market, that's usually about 50-50. That's about as good as you're going to get in a bull market. Now, obviously, XRP had a nice 60% pullback. Well, was it 60? It was close to, if not just over 60% pullback from our near $2 high back in towards the middle of April. So where we go from here, as I showed on my chart on Twitter, XRP is in this perfect little prime range right now. I'm kind of surprised we haven't broken out yet, but we're in this perfect range where we should hit a $2 price point again. And then we're going to pull back a little bit, and kind of like ADA's gone flat, right? For, I think, like almost 6 weeks now, we've been flat with ADA. It's been trapped in this range. I think that's kind of what XRP has been doing between the $2 and our low down there at 87 cents. Now, what we're likely to do is up in this $2 to, I'd say, 175 range. We're going to create even more of a support flattening out there, namely for a few reasons. There's a lot of uncertainty going around about, I think a lot of people right now are unconvinced that this rally is real still for XRP. And I think that's why we haven't seen a strong breakout. And I think that $2 mark is a psychological range that as soon as we break out, I don't know if the 330, which is our next range of resistance, is going to even hold it. Because I think so many people are on the sidelines right now watching XRP like, yeah, it's not going to break $2 before SEC announces something, right? Look at my callback all the way down to, my last video when I said nothing exciting is going to happen for XRP this year, right? Look at me. I got egg on my face, right? I got to eat crow now saying, hey, I was wrong. The XRP community is way more powerful than I gave anybody credit for, and kudos to everybody. I'm glad that I held, and I'm glad that I encouraged everybody to hold as we dropped, but at the same time, I wish I would have had the courage to also be telling everybody to buy the dips, but after so many years of telling people to buy the dip, I didn't want to say that, especially with something as serious at the beginning as the SEC lawsuit was, because we didn't have all the details, right? John Edwards asks a question real quick here. Did you keep your XRP? Because last time I seen you, I'm not I'm sure you said you sold it. No, John Edwards, I have never sold out of my XRP position. I've held this entire time. And like I said, actually, if you listen to my video, like I said, I'm even, I was at that point, I had, when the SEC sued us and we watched the price plummet from 70, I kind of gave up on XRP at that point, but I held out of just cynicism. I said, you know what? At this point, screw it. I invested 2 years in this. It can go to zero. Let it go to zero. I don't care. Let it go to zero. I wasted 2 years of my life. At least I held and followed my gut feeling on it, right? That this thing can pull back forever. It can run flat for years, but eventually XRP is going to lift off just because of the tokenomics behind it. Now, something else in the crypto community that, and it's one of the hashtags that I've seen a lot of people talking about, and it's one of the reasons why I want to get back into YouTube as well, is because I want to address a elephant in the room in crypto that a lot of people aren't paying attention to, or I don't think a lot of people understand what's going on, and that's Dogecoin. Now, to anybody that's really like involved, anybody that's involved in Dogecoin, you probably already have a sense of what's going on, especially if you've been in this community in crypto for a while. You understand that what's going on right now with Doge's mass explosion is based upon adoption of not institutional adoption, but regular Joe adoption. And this is different than Bitcoin adoption, right? Because I know several, okay, for example, I know a lot of my family members, a few family members who have bought Doge, and these individuals are not pro crypto, like they're not Bitcoiners. They don't, the only thing they own is Doge in crypto. And to me, when I see these individuals getting into this, but not into Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything else, what that tells me is they see something fundamentally different that is attracting them to Doge. And that's something that I think a lot of the crypto community at large wants to dismiss because we call Doge a meme, and it is a meme. Then I had an epiphany. What is value? What asserts a currency's value? It is the demand of an individual for that currency. Why is the dollar the most valuable currency in the world? Because everybody demands it, right? Everybody needs it for one reason or another. Most everybody needs it. So why are these people, why is Doge going up? Because all these people see this as a hedge against the current system that is inflating to infinity. And they see Doge as an inflationary currency, and they're like, well, yeah, but at least it's not exponentially inflationary like the fiat or like the dollar is. And so they see this as a, I guess I'd say a middle ground, right? This is kind of like they're snubbing their nose at the dollar effectively. These individuals are, they see the dollar as a joke, and so they're investing in a joke to snub the joke, the real joke that is the dollar. And this gets back to something that a lot of us have been talking about for years now. I can't remember who it is in XRP community that first brought it up. I think it might have been Brad Kimes, but somebody originally brought Metcalfe's law into the collective psyche of the XRP community. And I think a lot of us, even though we understand, I'm going to put up that window. Hopefully you're not getting feedback too much from the road. But so, sorry, that truck passing by completely distracted me. Shoo, what's up? Sorry guys, the chat was holding up too. Yeah, I don't got the yacht yet, but I'm out here on a road trip now, and I wanted to. I forgot where I was gonna go, but I'll address this. Why we're sitting in my car right now instead of the location that I had picked out that I wanted to do the live stream. Issue one, the place that I wanted to do the live stream, there's no service, zero bars, so I couldn't do a live stream even if I wanted to. The other issue, it's closed because COVID. So that's awesome. I couldn't find any source on the internet. After I found out the area I was going to go to Grand Prismatic Springs for anybody that's just to put that out there. And I'm going to go eventually once it all opens up, and we'll do a video around there. And I have a content that I want to talk about there. But mentioning something way back in there. talking about Bragheim's mentioning. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, the Metcalfe's law. Anyway, so yeah, that's where I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing travel videos a lot more where we talk, but hopefully I'll be able to give you guys some more scenic views while you listen to somebody talk about finance and all kinds of boring stuff that, can be rough to hear. I also want to talk, and I'm also going to do a video on wellness, as far as like mental wellness when it comes to managing wealth and managing your life, as far as not going and getting the whole, you know, sudden wealth syndrome, right? Because that's a big issue that a lot of people, especially a lot of people who've been following me, risk running into as we continue down this route. So we're about 10 minutes in now, so I want to real quickly start breaking down where I see overall market cap and coins before I really get into all the comments that you guys have already left and just general BSing. So if you look at where we currently are in stock to flow, we're about halfway through this trend, or halfway through our uptrend. However, if you look back at where that would have put us in 2017, where the prices were, the overall market cap, we about quadrupled, if not a little bit more than that, the total market cap between the halfway point and up. So it's not linear, right? It's log when you look at those. So I'm expecting that this bull market is going to drag into mid 2022. We'll see. Maybe it'll follow very similar to 2017, 2018, but I think it'll be a little bit longer this time. It's going to go in mid 2022. So for this year, what we should expect is within the next 2 months, we should expect a very strong rally. The overall market cap, I'm expecting by the end of June, we should have a peak somewhere in the range of $4 to maybe even $5 trillion in the whole crypto market. Probably about 3 will be in Bitcoin. Nearly 1, well, not June. By June, I expect Ethereum will probably be about 4,000, 4,500, somewhere in that range. And so that would put its market cap, I think, around almost $500 billion. XRP, on the going to to all what we care about, XRP is currently set up in that position, as we talked earlier, to break up to this $3 range, which is testing our previous all-time high when we start floating that, because there's no true resistances. It's just whatever the traders say, this is a good range. 330 is about there. Depending on how we treat that 330 range, we could go all the way up to $5 and have a healthy correction and level off there over the course of June. And then going into the fall, I'd expect to see XRP go up to anywhere between $12 to $15. And then maybe if we get a blow off top at that point, then we should see up to even $50, because just depending on how the circulating supply is affected by so many people FOMOing in and hodling, it's kind of hard to say how extreme that price will be when we lift off. XRP's history, as everybody knows, it's extremely volatile when it finally breaks its previous highs, and it just does silly things that melt people's minds. I think we're all hoping for that. And I think that a lot of people in the community have very reasonable expectations for the price right now. I think most people are projecting that we're only going to get, like I just said, about $5 to $10. And history shows that typically we're bad at guessing what XRP does when it finally breaks out. And we tend to lowball it. However, we've been in a really strong bear market, and we're getting really high market cap price ranges now, which psychologically mess with people. At any rate, Doge is a really important one that I mentioned earlier, and I want to point out where it's going by end of year, because I think a lot of people think this is just a fad, that it's just, it's not here to stay. This is a meme, it's retail idiots getting involved. Yeah, it is. It's retail idiots. It's apes. It's Wall Street bet apes, diamond-handed apes. If anybody can make a currency worth infinite money, it's diamond-handed apes. Like, if you have a community of 100% diamond-handed apes, whatever they're holding is worth infinite money, because they're not selling unless you're making them infinite wealth because that's how autistic they are, right? That's the whole point of the Wall Street bet mentality. Like I'm laughing about it, but that is the behavior, the psychological rut that a lot of Wall Street bettors get themselves in the mindset of, and that's what's influencing Doge. That's what's behind it. And yes, Shu asks if Elon is pumping Doge to cover his company's debts. I don't know about that, but he's definitely pumping Doge to all hell, and that's something else people need to keep in mind, right? Doge is not. It's a social phenomenon, and this whole market is a social phenomenon. It's a social experiment on a global scale, the likes of which has never occurred. And for anybody to sit around and say, oh, well, I'm not investing in this because, I invest in good technologies. Hey, listen, over 80% of my portfolio is still in XRP, right? But what you have to pay attention to is a lot of these trends that are unforeseeable. Doge's rally was unforeseeable. And because it was unforeseeable, people just want to dismiss it. But I think that Doge has the potential by end of year to have hit $2 to even $5 by end of year. So by June, we might see a $2, by the end of June, we might see a $2 Doge. And even though that sounds insane, because that means that Doge's market cap's going to go to what, like 200, or no, we're at about 80 billion right now, right? At 60 cents. So yeah, we'd be somewhere around a $200 billion market cap at that. Or no, 400 billion total circulating supply, somewhere around there. And that seems unreasonable, but you have to keep in mind, that's a peak, right? That's a short-term run-up, and it's going to have a strong correction, probably back down to a dollar 50 range, kind of where XRP floats right now. And that'll probably be where it floats until the second alt season comes. And that's something else. A lot of people are like expecting alt season, but what I don't think a lot of people are taking into account is that alt season's already begun. And we've actually been in alt season since Bitcoin came off of 64,000. And that's why we've seen so many of these coins just go parabolic. That is the start of alt season. Ethereum's at new all-time highs, right? It's alt season. It's just early. It's the beginning of the first alt season. And the first alt season in 2017, for reference, was, again, from basically right where we're at. It was from the end of March until basically early June. And in June, anybody that was in 2017 remembers, Bitcoin was just at about, I think it was the 8,000 mark, somewhere, I think about $7,000 to $8,000 mark. And it crashed almost, it had a flash crash of like 90%. And that's just like erased within an hour, right? Anybody that remembers that? That was insane. And that's actually where I was like, okay, now I got to get, that's when I finally FOMO'd in. When I saw it crash 90 and then immediately bounce right back up, I was like, it's not going back down. So Play a Psychological Trick got me in 2017. I bought it like, 7,000 or so. And that's what started me actually putting my money where my mouth was with this space. But I think we're at that same point, even the same month, even the way this whole market's playing out, which is kind of weird, but exciting too, because it makes it a little bit easier to plot out the trends, right? Now, there's another topic that I wanted to touch on before I get into everybody's comments and everything and really just start chatting with you guys. And that is the DeFi market, right? So DeFi as a whole is very interesting and something that I didn't really understand in last year, and I'm still wrapping my head around a lot of the space. It's really complicated for anybody that's not. If you don't know, it's effectively just it's very similar to Interledger, actually, in a strange way, right? Or the ILP, as many in the XRP community know, because it's bridging all these ecosystems. So effectively, ILP, in my opinion, was first DeFi, or one of the first DeFi platforms to truly be out there. But right now, the platforms that are considered DeFi, the top ones are, as many know, Ethereum, ADA, and Chainlink, but it's not the top. BNB. BNB is the, so those three are your top DeFi's right now. But what you need to keep in mind is Ethereum's got the lead, right? Ethereum has this incredible DeFi platform with tons and tons of developers, largest group of developers in the whole crypto ecosystem. I'm gonna put my window down because it's turned into an oven in here. So Ethereum has this current, first mover advantage, dominion over the space. A lot of people who are invested in Cardano are got recently really excited because Zimbabwe adopted or partnered with the Cardano Foundation to pair their citizens' ID to the chain. I think that's appropriate or effectively what they're doing. Anyway, this is really exciting because to see a actual national government working with a blockchain, that's a whole different ballpark from a company working with a private institution, even a central bank. That's big that's why we're all in XRP, right? So many of us are in XRP rather, because having all these central banks, it's huge, 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 huge for us. Thanks for stopping in, Legendary. Been it forever, dude. But yeah, so even though Ethereum has this huge influence over the space, and ADA has a far more efficient system, right? So a lot of people in ADA and Ethereum right now, they're just watching, they're kind of looking at each other, and they're not really paying attention to what a lot of the XRP community are paying attention to, and that's Flare. Now, if you look at Flare's current market cap on BitTrue, or if you factor market cap based upon its current price, it's actually got a higher market cap than XRP. I think it would be maybe above BNB, or it's about tied with BNB right now, right?